Right, so this is the cross piece. It's 21 inches from this hole to this hole, so all it needs is to be half an inch shorter on each end, and we can put our Tennyson joints on the end of those. As you can see, it's quite curved, but it doesn't matter. That's what I like about things like this you make directly from the woods, is that it gives it character. Right. If you already have a pattern to work off, it's a lot easier, obviously. So that's what I'm doing here. So just marking off carefully so this doesn't fall off. The joint needs to come to, and over here and there we go. There's my pattern. All I need to do now is just make a bit of a joint here, and then we're set. You can do this out in the field, which is why I'm doing this video. It's quite simple. Like I said, it's just the only reason why I've got an electric drill is because it's just for speed of use while I'm doing this video. Just going to carefully saw down. Being careful because I don't want to go down too far, so I'm pretty much doing this by eye now. Okay. I think I've gone deep enough that side. Right, I hope you can see this. But that's the reason why I'm being tentative at first. Because I don't want to come down too much, but I don't want to come down too little either. Where your baton and knife comes in handy. Oh, that's that split out. There you go. Let's do is just carve that in a little bit, and we've got it. On further inspection, it's not too bad a mistake, but what we're going to do is going to saw a little bit down, if I can get, so that mistake will be rectified now. Luckily, this is why you do it little by little, because you can always take off, you can't put back on. I think that'll do. And then we just repeat the process. There we go. And we want to repeat the same for that end. What I've done here is I've marked out when I'm going to put the mortise and tenon joint on the uprights. What I've done is I've sized up here. There's round about the centre there, because that's where my pattern is. But if you don't have a pattern to work off, just bearing it. My rule of thumb is generally centre and say an inch to the right or left, depending on which way up you're doing it. We need to know where to chisel. Which is why I'm marking out this. And if you haven't used a ruler or any accurate measurements, what I would do is I would make sure you know which side's which. So this is going to be the right hand side, so if I sketch an R on there, and say on the bottom or top the right piece, because when you're doing it by eye you're not going to get exact measurements obviously, so you need to obviously mark. So that's where I've done that. So that's the right hand piece, that's the right hand side. Like I said, you can always do this with your knife as well. But obviously only do that with a full tang knife, otherwise you'll end up breaking it. Let's check the depth on that. That's perfect, the depth on that. I've just got to clean it out a little bit. A little bit too thin. I'm getting close now. Just don't want to hammer it at this point because I might take off too much. Okay, let's try that again. Excellent. Flush fit. But that's basically what you want. Just be able to move it around and let it support itself. Like so. Right, the next bit is to turn it upside down. The reason why these need to be friction fit into place will become more apparent now. Because now we need to decide where the saw is going. It's smack bang in the middle of both of these supports here. Mark it out with the hole and then flip it over, line up the dots that you've marked out and draw a line. So I'm going to do that now. Oh no, actually it's here. Follow the old maxim, measure twice, cut once. Best advice I have ever heard, because I've just measured this twice and realised, no, actually the centre's there instead of there. Yes. Always measure and reach the very fiddly part, because you don't want your saw blade to end up buckling here, or you'll end up bending it. That's not very good. One final eyeball. Make sure that's going to be, the tension's drawn. Yeah, I think that's okay. So what I'll do now is saw into there, about how the saw is deep. So again, we need to mark out where we need to drill. Okay, so I'm following my measurement here. I'm going straight up. So I'm trying to mark a right angle. You can do this with the saw blade itself. You found the line. Give us a kind of rough estimation as to where this needs to be. We only need to saw up as far as here. For that bit of added security, I'm going to go a little bit higher, just for my preference. So about there. Okay, so again, the old maxim, measure once, measure twice, cut once. So about there. Okay. And then we do the same for the other side. Right, you can do this with a bit brace or some kind of auger, depending on what you've got, but like I said, for the sake of speed and having trouble making a groove here, so just bear with me. Now this is just a piece of paracord. I'm just going to use the old toggle for now until I can get a waste piece of the ash. And for now, what I'm going to do is just put this around the edge here. There's lots of things we can do to dress this up, but we're not going to do this at this stage. I'm just going to tension this up, see how it looks. Checking to see if we don't have any bends where we don't want them. Overall, I think that's pretty good. A bit of a rough cut. And that is definitely much lighter now than the oak one. I've just got to shave this off a bit. But yeah, it's not that hard to do. It should take you an hour at the most. Collecting materials might take you a bit more so, because you've got to select nice straight pieces and the right thickness. But overall, job done. You don't need wing nuts on it because it's secured on here anyway. You can even use nails if you wanted to. But for that extra bit of security, I'm going to put wing nuts on, and I'll probably cut off the bolt about there, about the size of the head, for a bit of extra security. And then if I need to make another one in the field because this one breaks, what have you, I can just reuse the bolts and just cut one straight from the woods, just like I did with this one.